wanted to pass it along to Paris Cool, our youth representative today.
My name is Paris Cool. I'm a 10th grade student in Rhode Island as well as a member of Young Voices, and I'm writing to you today and speaking to you today in support of the Trauma-Informed Schools Act. As the people and culture of Rhode Island change, it's important that our education remains culturally relevant and attentive to our needs. This means leaving behind a history of punitive disciplinary measures and embracing modern, evidence-based restorative practices that celebrate the diversity and rich cultural backgrounds of the student population. During COVID, I know that me and many other students were struggling with mental health. Long before COVID, I was diagnosed with anxiety, and I had been struggling with it for several years after my mother was hospitalized in 2015. I was dealing with issues at home, and during COVID, I started feeling hopeless and losing motivation to do regular, everyday things. It was hard for me to focus on schoolwork when the only things on my mind were way more important to me and emotionally taxing. Just getting up to go to school started feeling like such a mentally, physically, and emotionally tiring thing. I couldn't do my work, I couldn't get to school. It was even a lot for me to answer a simple text. It was hard for me to explain these feelings to people around me because it sounded like excuses to them, and sometimes I was told I was just being lazy. A lot of people around me that were supposed to be there for me were making me feel unsafe and like my issues weren't real or important enough. A teacher pulled me aside after class one day and commented on the work I was missing, and it made me feel so bad I didn't even want to look her in the eye. I stayed out of school for several weeks because I was scared to go back and face my teachers after all of the unfinished work and lack of showing up to school. I remember one day when I finally went back, I was having a panic attack, and I reached out to one of my guidance counselors at my school in hopes for some sort of help. Instead, my guidance counselor immediately brought up my grades and started telling me about how bad they were and how I had missed a lot of school. I was struggling at the time with many things and needed support, but this one interaction made me feel bad enough that I didn't want to reach out for help again. Dealing with COVID, mental health issues, and not having a nurturing school environment that knew how to support me through this time was debilitating. Trauma feels like a persistent and co-occurring exposure to an unhealthy environment. I believe that the passage of the Trauma-Informed Schools Act will help eliminate such needlessly harsh practices in the future and make a more restorative and healing school environment for everyone in Rhode Island. Additionally, I support this bill because I would like to see a more positive relationship between youth and adults in the classroom. Teachers and counselors need to look beyond grades and recognize the underlying issues that might be affecting our own mental health. If passed, this law would develop a stronger framework for discussing problems such as these without fear of punishment or shame. I hope that the voices of students are heard and the Trauma-Informed School Act becomes a reality. We are counting on our representatives to make the right decision today. Thank you for your time.